All right. Hey, everybody. Let's dive into current positions here and everything that I did today. So, first of all, I closed out the MicroStrategy equity position in one account at 300. So, from 258 to 300 is 16% gain. Another one, 238 to 294, is a 24% gain. And you know, we'll go. Oh, here. Well, first let's go over to MicroStrategy, and I this is not a market to let things run until proven otherwise. So, so and then with Bitcoin kind of rolling over this morning, I don't know how it's doing now. Let's see, how is it doing now? Yeah, I mean, it's down very big, very, very big. Um, wow, very sharp drop. I wonder what's going on with that one. So, So yeah, I mean, this is clearly rolling over, not looking good at all. Um, and so yeah, that's why I got out of MicroStrategy. But right now, I mean, it looks like pretty bad. I mean, this looks like a short. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. I may short Bitcoin tomorrow. We'll see. Um, yeah, wow, crazy. All right. Well, so again, we played this a couple different times that were all really good. You know, from like 78, closed out those calls on this very next day in the morning. Was also long MicroStrategy, caught this a couple different times, but I said, you know, Bitcoin is not in an uptrend, so I will not treat it as it is in an uptrend, but there's still a trade to take in there. Um, so I did, and yeah, this is not looking good. And you know, who knows? Maybe this bull market is in fact over. It very well could be. We're basically at the end of the very last. We'll see what happens tomorrow, but yeah, it very well could be over the bull market. So let's go over to Nasdaq, and I really didn't want to sell out of these calls. Um, uh, Today I wanted to wait for the close. I wanted to wait. I didn't close this position out. In fact, I added to it earlier. Right here. So was the third time in a row of bouncing off this same level. The 200-day moving average was there, and like I had said yesterday, I want to see a flush down and a nice rebound, and that's exactly what we got. And I added right here. Initially, I thought that was a fantastic place to add, and then the selling was just, I mean, this is really surprising. But also not terribly surprising, right? I mean, with this market is probably over. I'm not ready to say this is completely over, but it's probably, this bull market's probably over. As a matter of fact, I've been thinking the bull market is over, but there still is a trade to take going long here off this 200-day moving average, and that may in fact not even be the case. That might even be how weak things are, and how nasty that this bear market is going to get. So Now let's go over. So, anyways, yeah. So those are TQQQ. That's a leverage position. April 17, $73 strike price. Average cost basis on those calls is 5. It's currently 375, and yeah, after hours not looking good, right? And this is. Right at the close, it was just okay. So I'm like, I don't know, we'll let this ride for tomorrow. And then it's boom, shoots up. It's looking pretty good, I guess, right? I mean, it's better than going straight down. So I was thinking, all right, this may have caught a lot of people off today at the end, but, it's selling off now. Yeah, like I've been saying, this thing could totally be over. Yeah, I mean, it's looking like it is, but even weaker than I would have thought, right? I really was looking to go long from this point, which I have been, up to around the 2100 level, and depending on how it was acting around there, um, go short from there. But this might even be way, way weaker than initially expected. So from now on, moving forward, unless anything is miraculous, we will only be shorting equities, indexes. So now let's go over the other indexes here, and Dow is barely hanging on. Stand to the right. Dow's barely hanging on. Let's see this on a weekly chart. Yeah, so is this going to be a double top? It's looking like it will be. Yes. So this trend line has been broken, but it's right around the 200-day moving average. And like I said, I'm just looking to take a quicker trade off of here. But that's looking as of now is not going to work. Let's go over to Russell. This is already completely broken down. So yeah, I mean, the bull market is probably over unless there's something miraculous that happens. I mean, this is completely done and dusted here. So let's see some bonds here. Okay, yeah, I might be able to go after bonds here in a little bit. But anyway, so let's go over Mag 7 here. We'll start with Google. And yeah, it's now living below this 200-day moving average. I mean, things are so unbelievably weak. It's really concerning. Nvidia down huge again. Nvidia, let's look at Microsoft. Man, yeah, see, I mean, this could very well even just roll over from here, right? Again, like, I'm saying we were in such extreme levels and such nasty pullback with lots of individual names where I expected some sort of a bounce. And if this is all the bounce we're getting in these names, I mean, look out below. Right? Like, if you think, oh, how could this get any worse? This is, it's been falling like crazy. Buckle up, because it would be way, way worse than what you would expect. So now I'll go over to Meta. Meta down 4.3%. I mean, yikes, bad. Apple, bad. Amazon down 3%, sitting right here at this 200-day moving average. Amazon. Oh, let's see Tesla. How's Tesla doing today? Down 5.6% today. Crazy. Netflix. Wow. That's quite the drop here. Right, again, so all these sort of wild things have been happening where yesterday this looked just fine, you know, and looked like it was holding up really, really well. As markets since, February 18th have been horrible, and this is holding up relatively well. Things were in extended extreme territories to the downside. So you figure there's a higher probability that you get some sort of short-term rally, and just not only did you not get that, but minus 8.5%. I mean, I don't know the last time Netflix has been down 8.5%. I have no clue. I mean, that's pretty insane. So, yikes. Alright, let's go over to see how financials are doing. Yeah, see, now financials are below the 50-day moving average. That's horrible. Let's see how healthcare is looking. Healthcare quietly is looking pretty good. XLRE real estate just blasted today, although, this still looks okay. But like I said, I'm not looking to go long anything that's correlated with risk assets at all. Let's see how gold's looking. So even gold looks funky. Silver. So it's whatever. Silver. I think China is the only one that's been looking good. Yeah. For the most part, right? But like I said, I'm certainly not going long risk assets. Germany is looking interesting. Wow, they're in an uptrend as their bond market is imploding. XJ, so Japan, oh man, I mean, this could get pretty wild on the downside. That could be definitely something to short. Yeah. Yep. All right, so that's kind of it for today. There's not really much going on. I've taken all my profits for the week. I'm sitting on small position in NASDAQ. I'll blow that out tomorrow probably. So unless something crazy happens, right? But now let's go over, the last time the Qs went below the 200-day moving average. And so first of all, let's look at where we're at currently and zoom in here a little bit. So, I mean, this has just been super nasty. And under the surface, things were really bad since December. So individually, things have been really bad since December, really, except for like the major names. But just generally speaking, since December, it's been really bad. And 2 days ago, nice rebound over the 200-day moving average. Yesterday, nice strong day. Which is why, and I got a great entry point right at the 200-day moving average, and which is why on any sort of kind of shakeout and rebound today, I wanted to go long, and then I was gonna wait until the close if things didn't work out. And the close is a little bit funky, no sort of direction on what to do, so I'm just holding it. Going into tomorrow, it's a relatively light position anyways, but so you think all these things in, pretty extreme levels here, right? And then on a weekly, sitting right here at this, 50-day moving average on a weekly chart, which is essentially the 200-day moving average. Last time it hit it, we got a fantastic rally. Although it was totally different then. This was just a horrible, couple weeks. But things still looked pretty good. NVIDIA, all the major names were above their 200-day moving averages. So I didn't really think that... I didn't think in any way that was the end of the bull market. I didn't think so at all. But now I do think that this is over, unless something miraculously happens. But where's I going with this? Oh yeah, so you think this is kind of extreme territory or whatever, and it's got to bounce, but that's not the case at all. We go back here, so we'll zoom in here. Last time that this had happened is 3 years ago, almost exactly, off by a couple months. That's interesting. When the bull market ended. So it breaks below the 200-day moving average and then just keeps getting nuked, at similar levels where you think, man, we're super in very extreme territory and just keeps getting blasted. So if you don't think it can continue lower, you're sorely mistaken. Although it did rocket higher, but then this was the end of the bull market. So like I said, as long as if something miraculous doesn't happen, let's say on Friday, then I can confidently, and then what happens kind of like maybe next week, but confidently say it's over. Now we're only looking for short positions. I'm not 100% on that train just yet, but very, very close. Very close. Maybe give it another week or so for confirmation of that opinion. This has been a very strange market, so it wouldn't surprise me if something completely unexpected happens, because that has been happening a lot. So that's actually kind of why I was thinking today. I was like, how ironic would it be if we close below the 200-day moving average and then tomorrow just rips straight back through it, because everybody's watching this level. This has been a wild market, very draining, tiring one. And so, it would just make so much sense if it just did the complete opposite of what everybody is expecting. So, let's see. Let's go over some names, some individual names. Maybe we could get a sense of if is there anything to go after, like anything at all. Geo, no. I'm really surprised about Germany. Look at... Their bond market's completely blown up, and they've reached a new all-time high. Yeah, kind of similar to Japan, where all through here, all of 2023, they were, in a serious recession, and their equity stocks were performing fantastic. So, I was still going along that. So maybe Germany. But the problem is if U.S. equities are in a bear market, all other equities will not be working. So, maybe we could look at what are the unless there's a serious regime change, right? But, let's look at so what is the weakest of them? So India, pretty weak. And Japan, pretty weak as well. Very weak. So let's see how things are looking after hours here. I don't know, man. We'll see. All right. So that's that. If you guys don't care about any day trading, then Oh, let's look at Marvel. Again, these are like serious anomalies that are happening. Now, this wasn't a downtrend prior to earnings, but their previous earnings crushed it. Nice bounce off the 200-day moving average and very oversold territory. I hate to use that word, oversold, because look at that. If you use this word oversold and you get that into your head that this is oversold, what you think is going to happen is things are going to rally from there. You think that's some sort of signal, but it is not a signal. Extreme levels are something to watch. You just see it way too many times to where anybody that's intellectually honest is going to stop using that term, because then the very next day it goes down 20%. You know, I mean, this is no penny stock here. So, yeah. So that term, oversold, or you think something's in a, an extreme, position, right? That's just dumb. It's dumb. It's bad thinking. It's not dumb. It's just bad thinking. It's not constructive. It's not gonna. So, yeah, I mean, see now, below the 50-day moving average. Yeah, jeez. Okay, so blah blah blah. Wow, Royal Caribbean down 6.8%. So something really fishy is going on, and we will find out what's going on here. Not initially, but what happens during bull markets is you get surprises to the upside, like, oh wow, I had no clue that Royal Caribbean is booked out. Every single one of their exclusive clubs is booked out for the next 5 months. You're like, wow, that's crazy, And to the downside, what happens is like, oh, in a bear market, you'll get news like the engines in the cruise ship have all stopped working. Like you don't get that news in a bull market. You get that sort of news in a bear market. So I 260 down to 215 in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 trading days. So in 2 weeks, it goes from 216 to 215. These are crazy moves that have been happening from already crazy moves. Where, look at this. This is a massive uptrend. And when I said, like cruises are booked, for a year or whatever, that is kind of the case. Like Royal Caribbean is booked. And so they're in a crazy uptrend. Previous to earnings had a great reaction. The most recent earnings had a fantastic reaction to earnings as well. And this setup right here, this is what I went after right here. And this was beautiful. And adding to this, stochastic down around 20. It's beautiful setup. Consolidation after a huge gap up, major volume, a pullback, some sort of, a contracting pattern in here, and completely fails and just gets blasted. So, none of these things, and I've been talking about this, right? Same with Google. New all-time highs off of a really nice chart pattern, completely blasted. These are not normal things, and don't go into the basket of bullish stuff. It's the other way around. It goes into a bearish basket. So I'll know probably Friday and then how things are shaping out next week, where it's only going to be looking for short positions. So that's it. Now we're going to go into futures trading, and not much to really talk about today. I had a small trade with corn. The morning, right? These are massive moves in the morning, and I missed these. I was busy trading NASDAQ, and we'll go over that here in a second. But so then I saw this. Where did I see it? Maybe somewhere in this whole area. And then, caught a move from here to, almost 480. I figured 480 was my price target. I didn't put it at 480, just maybe a tick or something below there. Nothing to write home about, no big deal. So we won't really go over that. But now we'll go over to micros here. And again, listen, I'm not going after minis for me personally yet. I don't claim to be a good day trader, futures trader in any way at all. I'm learning. I do have a consistent, profitable strategy with it, but I'm still figuring out the strategy, and in a tough market environment, I'm not going to be pushing it. So this morning, this is how things were looking this morning. Okay. So you could kind of figure this level right around here was something to watch, a break below it where people have their stops, and bouncing above it is a trade to take. So 702, oh no, that was yesterday. So 633. Yeah, so it had to have been on this candlestick. 633. And again, I usually don't trade, first thing in the morning. I said that I would wait to see how things shape out in the morning, but unless there was, some sort of perfect setup. And although this wasn't perfect, it was clear and obvious for me. So 633, 20246 to 20272, which is 26 points. And essentially on this one, I was looking for any sort of kind of major move. In the morning, things move very quick and can get pretty nutty. And so, as this broke down and then is coming back up, I'm going to go after this for a very quick, boom, move up 20 points, somewhere around that. I'm going to get out. And then I did the same thing again at 6:42 in the morning. 6:42 in the morning. Let's see, so that would be right here, 6:42. Nope, right here. 20267 to 20287, so 20 points, so 67 up to there. Again, you can kind of trade off of this range. And then let's see what happened. So then this huge move, I was fully expecting a fantastic day from here. And so on any major pullback and right to this, 20,400 level, I was going to add calls to my NASDAQ position, and that's exactly what we got. I waited for a sec to see how this would react. That is super bullish, and any, 8 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10, this is extremely bullish signal right here. Nice obvious level here, breaking below it, nice volume above it. Stochastic was down here, right? So And then what happened? Yeah, so I tried to go after it again and here with futures, got stopped out. And then towards the end of the day through here, I did a couple trades, but nothing of any significance that doesn't really matter. So yeah, that was it. And we'll see what happens tomorrow. I mean, nothing is clear and obvious. And even the ones that are kind of clear and obvious are not working out, which are, the chance of that is around like 20% or so, and it seems like those things are happening a lot more frequent. So just be a lot more cautious. And that's it. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Hope everybody's going to have a fantastic Friday. And that's it. See you guys.